Incest and necrophilia should be legal when consented between two healthy adults. Freedom is precious and should be protected at all costs. With that, you should be able to do anything you want as long as it doesn't interfere with another person's freedom. You cannot kill anyone without consent, so that's immoral. You cannot have sexual relationships without consent, so that's immoral. But if you're psychologically in a good state, and a member of your family is as well, and if you're both adults, nobody has the power to call that immoral. Consent was given, nobody has to do anything with your life, go ahead. The same happens with necrophilia. If you and your partner consent, before one of you dies, to the practice of necrophilia, then you can do it. Nobody should have the power to tell you no.
How the fuck do you have consent with a dead body? I give you permission to fuck me after I am dead. It's covered in the post. Consent prior to death. Except that doesn't work. The ability to redact consent is just as important as your ability to give it. That's why safe words exist. I agree about incest if no kids are involved, but, dude? Fucking dead people? If you're both sane, dude, nobody who wants to fuck a body is in the right state of mind. Period. I don't think that the dead would qualify as healthy. Incest, while I find it gross, should be okay if at least one of the parties is incapable of reproducing. Necrophilia violates every belief we have about bodily autonomy and is also unsafe. Can't know if the consent between family is ever legitimate due to things like grooming. As for necrophilia, someone can just bullshit and say they consented. Incest yes, necrophilia definitely no. Necrophilia is desecration of the dead and it also poses a serious public health risk. Incest I can understand, between two consenting adults at least. The problem with fucking a dead person is that there's no way to ask the person if they truly consented. Now do pedophilia and bestiality. Consent can't be given when you're a child. What if the child identifies as an older person? We doing that yet? Incest and necrophilia should be a crime with the death penalty as punishment. We would go bankrupt chasing the South around in the hills trying to stop Cletus from banging his sister. Death? You're sick. They are the sick one and yet you wanna bang your dead mom. This sub is a fucking clusterfuck. Y'all don't want unpopular opinions, you want popular opinions that most people agree with but don't actually say it. Also, supporting one thing doesn't mean wanting to do it. I don't give a damn what the OP wants to do with his family. But my opinion is that he is sick. He is entitled to want to do well whatever he has planned, and I am entitled to my opinion about it. If OP didn't want opinions about it he wouldn't have posted here. But you are correct, this sub is a clusterfuck. What makes you think OP is a guy? Also, yes, you are entitled to your opinion, but calling someone sick and accusing them of something stops being an opinion. OP didn't insult anyone that doesn't agree with their opinion. Because that's what it is. An opinion and nothing else. Glad we agree on one thing though. I disagree completely, it is an opinion. I don't care about feelings. To me, it is a sick act. Holy hell, don't come at me with that assume gender shit. He was being used generically, you know it, and just want to be an ass about it. I actually didn't know it, but okay. I just know it never felt good when I was called a guy on Reddit. It can be a sick act to you. I also don't agree with stuff like incest and shit, but if someone has a fundamental opinion about it, that makes sense. I'm not gonna call the person sick in the head. The act to me might be sick, but just BC someone has different ideals, that doesn't mean that they're sick in the head. You know what I mean? It also depends on the subject. I can see why someone would support incest, but other stuff doesn't have excuses. Did I call them sick in the head? I didn't, but I guess I would have. In order to perform a sick act, you would need to be sick. Am I right? He has been used generically in conversations for, well, as long as I have been alive at least. Also, OP was actually the one who called someone else sick. So OP did in fact insult someone, which I responded to.